Hey, what's up guys? I'm Trevor, and today we're going to take a look at making some tepache. Tepache is a fermented pineapple drink that originates out of Mexico. It's really tasty and it's a great mixer. You can put it in pretty much any drink that you want to. So, grab yourself a beer and let's go. All right, guys, here's everything we're going to need for our tepache. I have a list linked in the description below. You can also visit my website, microculture.com, for further information on everything in this video. Okay, let's pull out our biggest and sharpest knife, get our cutting board situated, and then get this pineapple onto its side. We're going to cut off the top and the bottom, and that'll leave the core of the pineapple, which we're after. Once you're done cutting these pieces off, just huck them into your compost or throw them away or whatever you're going to do with it. You're not going to use these pieces.
And now we enter the ASMR portion of this video. Quarter your pineapple and then cut it into chunks. Enjoy.
And thus concludes the
ASMR portion
of our video. Now we're going to move on to some secondary additions. I have some cloves here. I'm going to add a cinnamon stick and then a pepper. I like a mild to medium pepper, just something to give it a little bit of a kick. It just adds another nice secondary flavor dynamic to our tepache. These large hunks are going to do good to weigh our ingredients down so they don't float to the top. But I found that the pineapple that I bought was kind of on the larger side, so I had to cut those chunks down into smaller pieces. And then I had a little bit left over, which that's fine with me. Just have some pineapple a little bit later. The world is an imperfect place, so sometimes when you're doing these projects, you have to kind of modify what you're doing. We'll get this filled up, readjust it a little bit, and then it's time to add our sugar water. Now we're going to pour our 4 cups of water with 1 cup of sugar dissolved in it into our 3-liter vessel. This is going to bring us pretty much to the top, but not quite. We still need to maybe add just a tad more water, and then we'll add our beer a little bit later on. But for now, pinky fingers up. Get that fermentation weight on there to make sure that nothing comes up to the surface. The reason for that is you don't want any of the pineapple sticking out of your tepache. Otherwise, we have a chance for molding and other sorts of bad microbial issues. Beer, sweet, sweet beer. Okay, this is a bottle conditioned beer, which means there's live and active yeast in the bottom. That's why I'm swirling this up. Once you get it all nice and mixed up, crack her open, and then we're going to add about half a bottle of beer into this and top this container up. But we don't want to fill this container all the way up, so that way we leave a little bit of room for fermentation. You'll see later on that it kind of bubbles up and forms a nice krausen. Now that we got our beer in here, we're going to compress our lid shut. Find a rubber band and compress the lid so that it's tight enough to keep out fruit flies, but just loose enough to allow gas to escape. Once you've done that, stick your jar into a closet that's dark and room temperature. And then a couple days later, you'll have something like this: active fermentation. Let it ferment until it gets its krausen or head, and then once that dissipates, then it's time to move on to the next step.
Step one is we're going to get our tepache into a secondary serving vessel. This bowl happens to have a little lip, so that will help us out. We're also going to strain it at the same time when we're getting it into this bowl. You can see that the krausen has peaked right here, and now it's starting to die back down a little bit. That means our yeast and bacteria and everything have hit their exponential phase, and now they're kind of slowing down. So that's perfect for bottling. We want to get this into our bottles back here while there's still some sugar left in solution. Okay, let's get this poured in. Ooh, there's all sorts of little yummies on top here. Don't be afraid of the stuff that you see. Some of it might look a little kind of crazy, but trust me, the end product tastes great. All right, our next step is to bottle. Everything that's coming into contact with our tepache is cleaned with PBW to get off all the major particulates, and then sanitized with Star San. You can see here I have a normal bottle and it's got some bubbles inside of it. That's okay. That's perfectly normal when you're sanitizing stuff. You just want to make sure you get the majority of your sanitizer out. We also have a little test bottle here that I'm going to fill up so I can test our carbonation later on. But for this, we're going to fill up one main bottle and see where that gets us with our little handy dandy funnel here. Now, it's important to leave a little head room so when your fermentation gets going, you can have some room for head. Get this into our test bottle. All right, fermentation is completely wrapped up. We've had these bottles in the refrigerator for about 2 weeks now. You can see that there's a little bit of krausen stuck on the bottle there. That's normal. You'll see that on occasion. And then we have some sediment down below here. That just shows you that all of our yeast and bacteria have settled out during the refrigeration process. So without further ado, let's crack these guys open and pour it into a glass. All right, we made our tepache. Let's give her a taste and see how it goes. That's pretty damn good. Not too shabby. So we made our tepache and no ill effect. I'm just kidding. We're good. It tastes awesome. Give it a try at home. You won't regret it. This is especially good in the summertime, but in the winter, it's equally as good. All right. See you guys later. Cheers. All right, guys, that wraps up another project. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please give it a like. And if you want to see more videos like this about every week or so, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any comments or suggestions or ideas for the channel that will be useful to either me or any of the viewers, please leave a comment in the comment section below. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers.